Hello, welcome to the HTML Basics course. In this course, we will learn everything very fast to save time and start making a website. I will not show you by making a website in this video, but you will know how to make a very good looking website. So without wasting time, let's start. So first of all, there's a few things that you need to know. Alright, so let's start with that. There's a few definitions that you must know, and first of all, it's the container tags. Alright, the container tags are tags which are inside these lines and which have a starting tag and a closing tag. So a closing tag is generally just the starting tag but with a backslash in front of it. Alright, so that's all really for container tags. The next thing that we need to know is empty tags. So empty tags are the tags that literally only have an opening tag. So they don't have anything like the opening tag with a backslash. So they don't have anything like this. It's literally just the opening tags. That's all about that as well. And another thing that you need to know, which we will not use right now, but it will be useful later on if we actually start learning it properly. First of all, we have block tags. So block tags, they take up the entire line. So they take the entire line, and we'll understand about that later on. So, and of course, inline tags are just the opposite of the block tags. They just only take the limited tag space. Alright, they just only take the space that they need to take. So as we can see right up here, there's a few things already written. By the way, we did not talk about how to practice HTML if you don't have any applications. So if you don't have any applications and you're just starting, then you can just go to Google Chrome, right? Just go to Google Chrome, go to the search bar and type W3 Schools. Open their website, and in that website, just go down there, and there's a small box. Below the box, there is written "Try it for free." So you can just click on the "Try it for free," and actually this page will open. So this page will open right here, and there's a few things written here, so we'll look at this right now. We can remove this. This is just indicating that this is HTML5. Alright, so this right here is our basic HTML structure. So this right here is our HTML. As we learned that these are just opening tags because they do not have the backslashes in front of them. And as you can see, the HTML is a container tag which has a closing tag. So right here it has a backslash and an opening tag right there. So we can write this as closing tags. We're just doing this to understand the basics, and we'll start to go even faster later on. Alright, this video you won't have to speed up even a bit because everything will be as sped up as possible. Alright, so again, this is also an opening tag, and below right there, this right here is a closing tag. Let's not waste our time by writing that stuff. So as we can see, there's a few things though. We have HTML, there's the head tag. Let's remove this line completely because this thing we can learn later on. These things we can learn later on. This is the basic of HTML. Alright, so there's the main HTML tag. These are things you should always write. There's a head tag, and you close the head tag with the closing tag, and then there's the body tag, and you close the body tag. And just like human beings, the head is where you think. Alright, this is where you load the website and you do the multiple things right here. So whatever's written here, things should be written here that are not visible on this side. So when we run this, we can see that there's nothing here currently because actually these are just tags, and tags are not visible in here. And by the way, I'll show you something. So P, and there's a bunch of space I put here. So HTML actually ignores all the space. As you can see, the I comes right next to it, and that is because it will make it easier for formatting later on. Alright, so that was just a quick thing that I wanted to mention. This is the HTML basic structure. You must know this. HTML to start with, and then there's the head, just like the human body, and then there's slash head, which is closing the head, and after your head is closed, what will start? Neck. But obviously we can't have a neck tag, so we're gonna have a body tag. So our body will include all the way from the neck to the feet, and right here HTML is our whole body again. So our body starts, our head starts, our head ends, then our body will start, and then our body will end, and then our whole I guess body will end, I guess. So that is basically it. We can move to the next section of the video now, and the next section of the video is just a few useful tags, and there is a few complex tags as well, but we will not talk in detail about them because, as we said at the start, this is an HTML basics course. If we want a very more standard, a more complex type of course, we will upload that later on. All right. So a few facts about HTML before we move on. So first of all, HTML ignores empty spaces, as we know, and HTML can have classes and IDs, which we'll talk about later because that is also quite complex for right now. All right. And HTML is not case sensitive, so if we do something like this, I'll show you something. So h1 tag is a tag which refers to a large heading, and we'll learn about that right now, so don't worry about it. All right. So let's say h1 tag, there's the opening tag and there's the closing tag, and we write something in the middle. This is heading 1. All right. So this is the heading 1, and this is actually a heading. As you can see, it's quite big. All right. So right here, h1 and closing h1, if I make this h capital, you can see that the tag still works. All right. One is not capital, other is capital, and it will still work. And the reason is because HTML is not case sensitive. All right. So let's move on to the few useful tags that we need to know. All right. So in W3 Schools, there is the school feature where you can make the page bigger and smaller, and I've made the page smaller for now, so don't worry about it. All right. First of all, this is one of the complex tags that we were talking about, the style tag. All right. So the style tag we'll learn about later in our full CSS course if we make one, if you guys are interested. And right down here, as you can see, we use the structure here, the HTML, the head is started, and everything that is not visible in the website, because you look at this, nothing that is written here is visible here. So not visible in the website is inside the head tag, and now starts the body, and everything that's visible will be inside the body tag. So here, types of heading, and this is an h1 tag just like before. So these are the types of heading. This is h1 tag, as you can see right here, h1 and closed h1. Everything inside this appears this big because this is the largest heading. All right. The second thing is the h2 tag. So the h2 tag is a little less important than the h1 tag, as you can see here. So it's a bit smaller. Similarly, h3, h4, h5, h6, and h6 is smaller than our paragraph. And basically, I would say it's never really used. And just to clarify, every single thing of the basics is not given in this video. Only what is useful is given. If you know what is right here, then you can make a quite good looking website. Actually not good looking, because CS makes the things good looking. You can know about the elements of the website quite well. Alright, so we know about the headings now. Headings, we know about it. Next is about the text formatting. So let's learn about text formatting. The first thing is that paragraphs are written with p tags in a greater than less than sign. We looked right here that every single tag are actually written inside a greater than and a less than sign. Alright, so these are how tags are written generally, and a backslash. So if at this point there's a backslash right there, then it becomes a closing tag. If there's no backslash, then it becomes an opening tag. And obviously some tags don't have closing tags like we discussed before. So there's a lot of ways to text format, to format some text, right? So if you surround some text in the B tag, now I'll show you the B tag right here. If you surround some text in the B tag like that and the closing tag, it becomes bold. And similarly, and it's very similar, B stands for bold, and there's strong tag. Alright, strong tag is basically bold tag, so don't worry about that yet. It's for formatting purposes that we use different names, so it's not a big deal at all. Next up we have I tag. Alright, the I tag stands for italic, so it makes the text italic. Again, EM tag is the emphasis tag, so it gives special emphasis to the text, and it's very similar to I tags when we're learning the basics. It will be used later on for different functions. Alright, so you don't have to worry about that currently either. The U tag is the underline tag. As you can see, everything that is wrapped under the U tag, for example, I've written underlined here. Let's say my name is let's say Samuel with the wrong spelling, if it's the wrong spelling then, and if we run this code, and go back down here, you can see that my name is Samuel is written here, and since it is inside the U tag, everything there is underlined. Now what happens if things are outside the U tag? For example, look at this, equals to U tag is outside the U tag and it is actually not underlined. So that's the basics. And now we are basically at the ending of this course, in which we are going to be using for now. The table tag is just here for knowledge. And why is it here then? Because I was about to put this in the complex version of HTML, but I've still put it here because it is quite knowledgeful. Alright, it is, I don't know if that's a word, but it is quite useful to have the knowledge. As we see up here, we had this style tag, which we did not talk about because it's one of the complex tags that we will not talk about in this video, and the reason is because it is actually CSS. Yes, you heard me right, it is CSS. So we'll look about CSS in a different thing, and CSS is actually required for this table tag and for this form tag, so that is why I have included them, but we're not gonna hop into like very much detail, alright, because they're a little bit more of a complex tags as well. So right here, let's start. Let's not waste any time. For the table tag to be useful, you need a bit of CSS, which we don't know yet, as I just said. So first of all, the tr tag creates a table row. As you can see, this right here, this is a row. So look, I'll show you my mouse. Alright, row goes like this and columns go like this. Row goes like this, columns go like this. Alright, so this right here is a row and there's one row, so this entire thing is one row. Alright, and this is one column, this is the second column. So a table, a tr tag will create a row, and then when you put in a table data tag, it will create a column. So this is the first table data tag, this is the second table data tag, and when you close the table row is closed, and when you start a new table row, we go down here. So I recommend that you ignore the table for now, because the more you look at the code, the more you understand. Basically, examples like this are, I would say, quite not useful to learn the table tag. I think you need to learn it in a way in which you are looking at the code. So you can look at this code right here. I will include it probably in the links in the description, so you can look at it to just know this basic. Alright, the form tag is also for knowledge, and it's just here. As you can see, it's a very short tag for now. It's not a very short tag in real though. Here, as you can see, the form tag on this side, let's look at this side. Form tag, input tag, input, there's a new tag here, input. So in the input tag, we can have a bunch of different types. For example, we can have a type text, and we can have type like checkbox. But as you can see, if I run this, then everything is gonna go wrong, because checkbox does not actually have these types of attributes. It has different attributes that we aren't using here. So this is actually for text only, and there's many types of input. Alright, there's many types, and we'll learn about them later on the course. Alright, so yeah, this is it. You have an input tag whose type is text, and placeholder is basically what is inside here. Alright, and this class is formed because for the CSS purposes, so it's not very useful to us. This basically allows us to search anything. This is what they use on YouTube and things, and with CSS we'll learn next up how to make it exactly good looking and things. Alright, and for the last tag of this course, we'll have the HR tag. And HR tag is just, I've included this just to make this so I was making this website, right, and I looked at it and it looked real ugly. Alright, so I wanted to fix it a bit. So to fix it a bit, I added a few underlines here, as you can see, and they really help actually. So if you just put an HR tag, just write HR, right? So let's just go below italic. No, let's go below this heading 4 and just add an HR tag. Just write HR. It is a empty tag, so it does not require a closing tag. Just HR, and now a line pops up. Now there's many things, attributes. Okay, so let's just talk a bit about attributes. We're not supposed to talk about attributes here, but we will talk about attributes anyways. Alright, so there's a few attributes that you can actually add. Attributes are things that are put in the tag to define the tag even more, to make the tag look better, to define the tag, to make the tag fulfill its purpose even better. So if I, for example, do color green, then this line, as you can see, color becomes green. Now we'll learn a better way to put in CSS later on in the course, but for now I would say this is all. Now you know the basics of the entire HTML thing. So let's just go over everything once and we'll end the video now. Alright, so first of all, as you can see, there's a few HTML definitions: container tags, empty tags, block tags, and inline block tags. And we know about these because we already learned about them right at the start, though we deleted them, it seems, right here. So these are all the things. If you really want to look at it, then these are all the things. And HTML, by the way, is not very rule specific. For example, right here we can write a paragraph in here, but writing just outside will also give us a paragraph. It's just better to write it in here because we can format it and make it look better and make it fulfill its function better. All right. And the next thing is that we learned that this right here is the HTML structure. So the HTML head slash head, body slash body, and slash HTML. And next up we learned a few useful tags. The few useful tags were, first of all, the paragraph tag, a BR tag. By the way, we didn't talk about this. We were supposed to talk about this. A BR tag is supposed to break lines. So for example, right here, as you can see, this is a paragraph. If I just include a BR tag here, it'll break lines. Wait, yeah. So this is a paragraph has been broken line, right? So you might be thinking, why not just go here and press enter? As we know, the HTML ignores all this space. Access space is ignored by HTML, and this is all counted as space. So basically the code does not change. But let's say right here only I place a BR, then the code will be changed because the line will be broken and it will drop down. That is about the BR tag. So that's one tag that we need to know. We learned H1 to H6. So these are the types of heading tags, and we learned about the input tag, we learned about the table tag, and then we learned about the form tag. Now for the complex sides of things, if we have to learn about the complex tags, I will give you two complex tags for now. For the first thing, it's the style tag. Style tag is basically the CSS tag, and we'll learn more about CSS in the next video. But the style tag, right? Style tag isn't really a complex tag. It's just not included in HTML. That's why I've included it here. The next tag is the most useful tag in the entire HTML thing, and it's the div tag. And we will talk about this in a separate video because I feel as though it is the most complex tag in HTML and it is the best tag in HTML as well. So that is one more thing that we learned about. And basically this is all we learned about. So we learned some HTML facts where that HTML ignores empty spaces, and that it's not case sensitive. So it's just this much. If you want all this code, it will be down in the description, so you can view it, you can learn from it. Alright, this is the basics. You can use this information to create a quite good looking website. Alright, this is it for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit the like button. Comment down below what you want to see next. If you want to see a more complex version of HTML, a more complex version of CSS, or maybe just some other course, CSS, JavaScript, anything. Alright, so thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.